The film opens at a bustling construction site, where Levon Cade leads his crew as they prepare for a day's work. He shares a strong bond with the workers. To his crew, he's more than just a boss. He's the kind of man who leads by doing. He also shares a deep bond with the Garcia family, Joe, his wife Carla, and their daughter Jenny, the ones who own and run the company. To Levon, they're more than employers. They're family. As the job gets underway, Levon notices a group of thugs harassing one of his workers. He calmly asks them to leave, but when they continue their assault, Levon fights them off even when more thugs arrive, but Levon holds his ground, ultimately forcing them to retreat. When the young worker, stunned, asks how he managed that, Levon simply tells him, "Get back to work." Watching from a distance is Jenny Garcia, the teenage daughter of the family. She doesn't say a word, but quietly asks Levon to always have her back. He promises he will. Off the clock, Levon is a single father to his daughter, Mary. She lives with her grandfather, Dr. Roth, who holds deep resentment toward Levon, blaming him for the death of his daughter, Levon's late wife. One night, Jenny heads out to a club with friends. Unbeknownst to them, they're being watched by a dangerous couple, Viper and Artemis, criminals on the hunt for a girl to deliver to their client. When Jenny steps away to help a drunken friend, the predators seize their chance. They ambush her and drag her into a waiting van. On Monday morning, Levon is approached by Jenny's parents, Joe and Carla Garcia. They break the news. Jenny has been missing since Friday night. They're desperate and disillusioned, convinced the police won't be of any help. Joe, knowing Levon's past as a Green Beret, pleads for his assistance. He even tries to hand him money, but Levon refuses. That chapter of his life, he insists, is behind him. Later, Levon pays a visit to Gunny Lefferty, an old comrade left blind from a mission gone wrong. Grateful that Levon once saved his life, Gunny listens as Levon opens up about Jenny's disappearance. Something weighs on Levon's conscience. He returns to the Garcia home, where he tells Joe that they're his family, his words carrying a quiet promise. He's going to bring Jenny back. Levon begins his hunt at the nightclub where Jenny was last seen. His investigation leads him to Johnny, a shady bartender linked to the crew that took Jenny. Levon storms Johnny's apartment and violently forces information out of him. Things escalate fast when two of Johnny's friends arrive and hear the commotion. They storm in, guns blazing. Levon, thinking fast, uses Johnny as a human shield and returns fire, killing both attackers. He takes their cash before slipping away. The aftermath draws attention. High-ranking Bratva Captain Wolo Kolesnik finds the bodies and the missing money, immediately suspecting someone is targeting their organization. Levon soon tracks Wolo to his home, just in time to witness him strike his wife. Without hesitation, Levon breaks in, knocks Wolo out, and ties him to a chair dangling over a pool by a rope. With deadly calm, he warns Wolo to keep quiet or risk a watery end. The interrogation turns tense as Wolo snarls in Russian, dropping a cryptic name, Dimi, and blaming him for the situation. Levon, unmoved, cuts the rope. Wolo plunges into the pool and drowns. Wolo's body is later discovered by his brother, Simon Karchenko, the head of the organization. Furious and seeking vengeance, Simon dispatches his sons, Danya and Vanko, to hunt down Levon. To get closer to Dimi, Levon poses as a drug dealer and approaches Dutch, a local kingpin. Dutch quickly pegs him as ex-military, like himself, and the two develop a tense but mutual respect. Seeing potential, Dutch connects Levon with Artemis and her associate, Dougie, to begin doing business. Meanwhile, Artemis and Viper deliver Jenny to their client, Mr. Broward. As he prepares to assault her while she's unconscious, Jenny suddenly snaps awake and viciously bites a chunk out of his cheek, sending him into a rage. Back in the city, Dutch arranges for Levon to meet Dimi. Still maintaining his dealer cover, Levon manages to get inside their biker bar. But Artemis spots him on the surveillance cams and alerts the crew. Chaos erupts. Levon steals a motorcycle and races into the woods, with gunmen in hot pursuit. The chase ends abruptly when Levon crashes into a police cruiser. Unfortunately, the cops are on the criminals' payroll. Danya and Vanko arrive, bribe the officers, and take Levon into custody. Inside their van, the brothers try to torture Levon for their uncle's death. But Levon breaks free, turning the inside of the van into a war zone. After a brutal fight, he grabs a gun and kills both Danya and Vanko. Then, calmly, he dumps the van and the bodies into a river. Later, their father Simon discovers their corpses at the morgue. His rage boils over. Now it's personal. Things escalate when Levon's past catches up to him. The organization targets Dr. Roth's home. Levon realizes something's wrong when Roth fails to pick up Mary from school. Rushing there, Levon finds the house ablaze. He rescues Roth from the flames just before firefighters arrive. Roth, burned and bitter, blames Levon for bringing danger to their doorstep. But Mary steps in, reminding him Levon just saved his life. To protect her, Levon takes Mary to stay with Gunny and his wife. Back with the traffickers, Demi orders Artemis and Viper to kill Ginny for biting Broward and ruining their deal. But Ginny isn't going down easy. She fights back in the car, forcing them to crash deep in the woods. Injured but determined, she frees herself and runs. Salvation appears in the form of a police cruiser, but it's a trap. These cops are also on the take. Ginny is dragged back to the traffickers' compound. Viper and Artemis prepare to finish her off until Broward calls. He's changed his mind. He wants Ginny alive, but awake and dirty. Elsewhere, Levon arrives. He confronts Demi, shoots him through the hand to disarm him, then forces him at gunpoint to lead the way to the compound. Demi leads Levon to the compound, unaware it's his final destination. At gunpoint, he tries to justify his crimes, claiming that if he wasn't doing this, someone else would be. Levon calmly asks if he has a daughter. When Demi answers no, Levon kicks him into a creek and puts a bullet in him. Inside the compound, just as Artemis and Viper bring Broward in to make another attempt on Ginny, Levon makes his entrance with a grenade. The explosion rattles the compound, and what follows is a brutal storm of violence as Levon takes out Bratva soldiers in a hail of gunfire. But it's not over. Dutch and his biker crew arrive to eliminate Levon. One by one, he dispatches the bikers until it's just him and Dutch. They face off in a savage knife fight. Levon wins, and though he kills Dutch, he does so with a warrior's respect. Through the chaos, Levon hears Ginny's voice. He finds her locked in a room and kills Broward on the spot. Meanwhile, Ginny fights back, wrapping her legs around Artemis's neck. Levon beats Viper to death. Outside, Karp and two more armed goons lie in wait. Officers Von Trask and Detweiler arrive, but Karp, mistaking them for actual cops, guns them down and blows up their cruiser in a fiery blast. Levon retaliates with a deadly device, eliminating Karp and the remaining threat. He finds a motorcycle, scoops up Ginny, and speeds off into the night. Simon arrives too late, just in time to watch them escape. He calls his brother Yuri, demanding support, but Yuri coldly tells him, "The devil got what he came for. You're on your own. No one in the organization will back him." Levon brings Ginny home, reuniting her with her family in a wave of emotion and relief. Joe and Carla break down in tears, overwhelmed with gratitude. Finally, Levon returns to Gunny's house and is reunited with Mary. As they sit down for breakfast, Gunny looks at Levon and simply says, "You're home."